Davis, Chief Financial Officer.
Rick Lance, Director of Public Works and Utilities.
JT Klaus, City Attorney with Anthony Albertini.
Les Mangus, Director of Community Development.
Susan Renner, City Clerk.
Jennifer McCausland, City Administrator.
All right, and at this time, Eric Goodman of Center Point Church is going to lead us in an invocation. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. Thank you. Let's pray. Dear Lord and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for the beautiful day that you've given us today. And we ask you tonight, Lord, as the city council meets, Lord, that you would just meet with them, Lord, and that your will would be done with every decision that needs to be made, Lord. We're thankful for the folks that are elected, Lord, to lead this city. And we ask you to bless them, Lord, and their families and their time here tonight. And we also ask you just to bless those that volunteer, Lord, and help out and serve this community. And that we're thankful for the police and the fire and so many other people that volunteer, Lord. And we ask you just to bless them too and their families. And tonight we ask you to give us wisdom, Lord, and the decisions that need to be made. And we'll thank you and praise you for what you're going to do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
If you would, join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this time I'll open the floor for public forum. And if you have something you want to say, state your name, your address, and keep it short. Nobody? Public forum is closed. Acceptance of agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0.
Mr. Mayor, I was
Yes, ma'am.
not quick enough on the draw there. If number 12, the Summerlin edition, is on your agenda, I believe we are pulling that tonight. We did not receive letters of credit. Is that correct, Mr. Landsworth? That is correct. So we need to, I'm sorry, I need you to re-accept the agenda without item 12, the Summerlin.
So I'm saying that one more time.
Mr. Mayor,
Amended.
I move to accept the agenda with the modifications of removing item 12.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. All right. Now where was I at? 7.1 staff milestones 2023. And Jenny will first start the,
Jenny.
Okay, Mr. Mayor and Council and all in attendance tonight. I'm going to start the presentation I'm doing by addressing the fact that this person is dreading this moment because he's pretty humble and he really doesn't like attention drawn to him. So let's all look at Lance Onstott because on occasions like tonight, when we're recognizing a 5-year milestone, it is necessary. So get comfortable, buddy. I have a couple words to share. On April 3rd, 2023, Lance officially surpassed 5 years of service with the city of Andover. But if you include his internship and his first full-time position with the city, it's really closer to 6.5 years. He started May 2nd, 2016 as a management intern, and lucky him, I was a supervisor. Then, because of his hunger to learn and do more, it wasn't surprising that within about 6 months, he moved on to a full-time position for the city of Andover in November, and he was the environmental officer, GIS Tech. He was supervised by Rick Landsworth, who he ironically now supervises. In December of 2017, he had a little lapse in judgment, and he thought that the grass might be greener in Wichita, which it wasn't. So after a 4-month stint as the City of Wichita Senior Management Analyst, he came back and became our Stormwater GIS Tech and was again supervised by Rick. And then in November of 2019, he became the Assistant City Administrator and has been my right hand ever since. Well, I could have asked Rick to give me some information because I know he has material that would brag on Lance as well. I felt like with my couple times of direct supervision, I had plenty to go from. So I'm using my experience personally. Lance is a continuous learner. When he was a management intern, he impressed me so much when we asked him to put together our first ever budget book. Having no graphic design experience, he went to YouTube and learned how to use the Illustrator program and delivered a beautiful and content-strong product. In the years of service since that time, he continues to show this drive and his desire to get to the root of the problem, not just treat the symptoms. Lance and I started our tenure as CA and Assistant CA running. Just 5 months later, COVID-19 shut down so many things. During that time, he was invaluable as we navigated all the organizational and community outfalls of the pandemic, including applying for and then beginning the execution of millions of dollars of COVID federal funds, including ARPA, Sparks, Shuttered Venue, and most intensively our 2 base grants totaling over $8.5 million, which he is leading at this time. Lance oversees the work of the Building Inspection Department, the Planning and Zoning Departments, and they are currently in the midst of approving plans and inspecting buildings that are creating a transformational mixed-use development in Andover, the Heritage. Lance was in the class of 2021 for Advanced Kansas, and as if all of that wasn't enough, then you all know in April of last year, we had the EF3 tornado that tore through our city. Lance was the calm, steady, constant leader who helped maintain the regular daily operations while I primarily focused on recovery-related tasks, especially in May of 2022. All in all, a lot of people win with Lance on our team. The employees he supervises, he's creative and innovative in his approach to personnel and resource needs. His colleagues across the organization, as well as the governing body, he's always offers an empathetic ear to both of those groups. The development and business community, Mayor Price routinely says that Lance finds a way to say yes. And this is a very accurate statement about Lance's desire to serve the community and the elected officials in a way that really provides the best possible outcome to as many parties as possible. I win because Lance constantly makes those he supports look good and in fact better than they would on their own. The citizens of Andover are very fortunate to have this quiet, behind-the-scenes leader working so diligently on their behalf every day. It is my sincere hope he remains on our team for years to come. Lance, please receive your award. Say anything? No? Okay.
Great job, Rick.
Speech. You look quite dapper tonight too, I might say, so. All right, next we have Buck doing some, Chief Buchanan doing some awards.
That's all right, Mayor. Thank you. So I've got 2 of them to give tonight. I'm going to start with Lieutenant Hardy, and then we'll go to my next one will be Captain Graber. First of all, Lieutenant Hardy, Joe Hardy, had joined us, the Andover Police Department back in May of 2018 and graduated from the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center, a basic class of 252 in October of 18. Officer Hardy was promoted to Master Police Officer in May of 2020, Sergeant in 2020-21, and Lieutenant in April of 2022. So very fast mover through police ranks. But it's not surprisingly because he originally spent 22 years. Yes, 22 years in the Air Force. Very impressive that period of time, especially those that have been in the military. To go 22, that's an amazing career. So very fortunate. Most of that was as a security force member, which I take pride in that because that's what I did as well. So to spend that much of your career is pretty impressive. That as well as being a first sergeant. So those are the guys that have to deal with all the discipline and all the hard work that the commander relies on, which made him an extremely valuable member of our department because of that leadership he had in the Air Force has definitely carried over to our department, not just for his team, but for the entire department altogether. So we're very blessed to have that. Some of his extra duties he has is the field training officer. Not surprising, he's able to train quite a few people. Bicycle patrol coordinator. And then currently he's doing the traffic enforcement speed coordinator. and Traffic Safety Committee Coordinator. So he has a lot on his plate. He's done a lot. In 5 years, that's quite a bit within a department to take on those many duties and stuff. Joe is an associate degree in criminal justice and in the Community College of the Air Force and a bachelor's degree in security management from Southwestern College. So during this time as well, trying to serve your military, everything else, he went back and got his degree. So that's very impressive to be able to do that while working security forces. You don't have those regular shifts. As Joe will tell you, it's one of those where right now he works nights. So he's one of those, he puts in a lot of hard work and he flips and changes his schedule, raising a family, a very large family, which he's very proud of, that we're proud of as well. So Joe, come on up here so we can present you with your 5-year award. That's heavy. Next, we have Captain Ben Graber. He started with the Andover Police Department in June of 2008 and was promoted to the rank of sergeant in May of 11. In August of 13, he was reclassified to a lieutenant. And in 2021, he was promoted to the rank of captain/deputy chief. Prior to coming to Andover, this is kind of the unusual part that a lot of people don't know about Ben and makes him even more valuable for a department, is that he worked for the Reno County Sheriff's Department for 3 years, but more importantly, for 10 years working as a volunteer fireman. So that's kind of a specialty that not all police officers do that. Usually sometimes it goes the other way around, but impressive that he was able to have that experience and bring that back to us and our city for the most part. But he was smart because he came to the good side on that one. So Captain Graber currently serves as the operations commander. He's done a lot on this department in 15 years. Many different duties, which include field training officer program coordinator. So he's not only been a field training officer, he's the coordinator for that to make sure it runs smoothly, but he's also changed our program over the years to make it more efficient and runs a lot better. So in years past, it's been kind of weird. He'll come to you and say, hey, I want to improve it. And that's what I love. I love when someone can come in and say, I want to improve this process. And he's done that right off the bat, right when he took over. He's like, here's a better way of doing it. And it has been a better way in our process with our new hires. He currently serves as the operations commander. So he's over patrol of 4 teams. And he also is over investigation section. As most people know, our investigation section is very busy. And it's an unusual crew that works very hard that he spends a good amount of time with. He's also he was the traffic enforcement speed program coordinator before he passed it over to Joe. For a lot of those awards that we received from AAA, Ben has been the biggest part of that. All those years, most of them that we've had is because of the hard work he has to put in collecting data, making sure people are in the right places and spots all the time. It's been Ben that's done that for all these years we've received those. We're going on how many now? 12? Yep, 12 years in a row. At the top of that is platinum. He's been a radar technician, bicycle patrol coordinator, animal control coordinator, and a member of the training committee. Ben's a graduate of the 2014 University KPAS that we have, Leadership Academy. He's a 15 graduate of the Kansas Police Administrator Seminar and also a 2009 Officer of the Year Award. So this time, actually not yet. There's one other thing with Ben I think is impressive that I've just learned, and it's hard for me because I like to talk a lot sometimes. People wouldn't know that. But he has been made it very aware that when we're at meetings, I'm surprised he's not doing this now, coming up here and say, we've got to go. So he's the guy that always makes sure that I'm on track all the time to make sure we stay on track and on schedule. So Ben's the one that usually does that. It's coming. We got to get going now. So Ben, come on up here, bud.
Chase Driver, originally from Hayes, Kansas Public Works Department, joined our team and quickly proved himself to be an invaluable member over the course of the past 5 years. His dedication and commitment to his work have made him a significant impact on our operations. Moreover, Chase's pursuit of professional growth is evident in our operations. In our operations. He has successfully completed the IMSA Traffic Signal Technician 1 and 2 certifications, continually expanding his knowledge of street department operations. Chase actively seeks opportunities to enhance his understanding and contribution in innovative tasks. One of Chase's notable qualities is his ability to think outside the box. Not only does he constantly accomplish tasks and assignments with exceptional results, but he also demonstrates a remarkable inclination to explore alternative approaches and to consider better options. This forward-thinking mindset has greatly benefited our team, leading to enhanced efficiency and improved outcomes. A recent heartwarming Facebook post effectively encapsulates that positive influence Chase has within the city of Andover. The post recounts a morning walk during which Chase encountered members of the city, from which Chase encountered, I wrote that in error, in which his young people encountered members of the city of Andover street crew. Chase was one of those. On this walk, they were walking through the school and back, and Chase saw these people approach this young lady, young girl, and offered her stickers and a warm-hearted greeting. This mom went on to post onto Facebook how excited she was, that the daughter was excited about it, and she ended her post with, "Love our little community." These are the kind of things that Chase goes out of his way and to represent the city of Andover publicly and out on the street. These are the type of things that can't be measured, but are extremely valuable to the city of Andover. It was Chase's idea to keep the stickers with the crew while out working in public. Chase understands what it means to be out representing the city of Andover. In recognition of Chase's exceptional contributions and unwavering dedication, I am delighted to present him with the well-deserved 5-year award. This milestone signifies his continuous commitment to our organization's success and the positive impact he has made during his time with us. Looking ahead, it's with great anticipation that we anticipate presenting Chase with a 10-year award in another 5 years, further honoring his remarkable journey and standout performance within our team. Chase, if you'd like to come forward, please.
Nice.
Our next service award goes to Kyle Johnson. Kyle started working a few years after I did with the city, after I joined the city of Andover. It's astonishing to think back on those early days and realize how young he was. That realization, of course, implies that I've aged considerably too. Over the course of the past 15 years, Kyle has impressive transformation from new recruit to one of the most experienced members of our team. Kyle was like the young kid on the crew at that point in time. One notable accomplishment is Kyle's acquisition of a Class 4 wastewater certification. This achievement sets our city apart as we now boast 3 Class 4 operators for a plant our size. It's a testament to Kyle's dedication and expertise in his field. Kyle assumed the lead role of sewer camera inspection operation many years ago, and today continues as the staff member expert on the operation of the new system. But Kyle's contributions extend beyond his professional qualifications. He consistently steps up to volunteer for various events and is always quick to lend a helping hand to other departments, offering guidance on electrical matters or assisting with concert setups. It's safe to say that the phrase, "That's not my job," has never left Kyle's lips. Furthermore, I can honestly say that I've never witnessed Kyle in a sour mood. Throughout the years, I have thoroughly enjoyed working alongside with him, benefiting from his positive attitude and his unwavering commitment to our shared goals. The city of Andrews truly appreciates having Kyle as an invaluable member of our team with remarkable attitude, extensive knowledge, and eagerness to help in any way possible. without a complaint. Kyle, you have a remarkable opportunity to surpass Brian Walls in terms of years of service, considering you started so young. It brings me great joy to present you with the 15-year service award, and I eagerly look forward to awarding you your 20-year award. Kyle, if you'd like to come up, please. I've just one quick statement, since Jenny didn't let me say anything about Lance. At the risk of having a really bad eval, I would just like to say that Lance is the best supervisor I've ever trained.
Oh, my goodness.
Like it.
All right. Citizens request 8-1 Jaguars Community Football Pep Rally. Take your time. We got all night, Daniel.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This will be the 4th year for the Jaguar Football Community Pep Rally held at the amphitheater. They're looking to do it on September 13th. We are asking for reservation of the space there at the stage from noon to 11 p.m. to allow for setup and tear down. Same formula as before. They expect around 1,000 people. They would have a couple of food trucks to cater to folks attending the specific event, and DJ using outside equipment on the stage. They have asked again for the waiver of the associated facility fees, and the base fee rate starts at $1,700. And I'd feel free to answer any questions that you might have about the event.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve the sale of goods and services, including food trucks to vend, and approve the waiver of the facility fees for the Jaguar Football Community Pep Rally to be held at Capitol Federal Amphitheater between noon and 11 p.m. on September 13th, 2023.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Daniel. 8-2 street closure, Green Valley. 5-6 HOA, 5 and 6 HOA annual pool party. And Mrs. Melissa Cross, right?
That's correct. Good evening, everybody. I am the social chair for Green Valley 5 and 6, and we normally host a annual pool party barbecue outside of the pool area there at Fairway Circle in South Lakeside. So we just request that some barricades be placed on the road so we can extend everyone congregating into the road there.
Anyone?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve the partial closure of South Fairway Circle on July 8th, 2023 from 4 to 9 p.m. for HOA annual pool party.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Cross. 9 presentations. 9-1 Music Theater Wichita 2023 Performance Report.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. My name is Angela Cassette. I'm the Managing Director of Music Theater Wichita. And usually when I'm here to ask you for something. But tonight, I'm just here to thank you for your vision. We are so grateful to the city of Andover for having thought and worked so tirelessly to create such an incredible venue as the Capitol Federal Amphitheater. We're incredibly grateful for your partnership over these past few years. Not to say that it's not going to continue, but it has been instrumental in our organization's survival throughout these past few years. Like most theaters, we were really at a loss of what to do when all of a sudden it became dangerous and not possible to gather people, lots of people, into small enclosed spaces. And it was really the ability to partner with the city of Andover and come out to the Capitol Federal Amphitheater that enabled us to continue serving patrons. And it also made it so that we were one of the first theaters nationwide that could start doing large scale performances again. Not only do you have an incredible venue out here, but you have a really phenomenal staff. We worked primarily with Rick and Daniel and Katie before she left, and also Megan this year. And these are, yes, people, unshakable, follow up, follow through. It was really always just a joy to work through things with them, even when things were big challenges. Like, there's no longer a lodge. They were just completely unshakable. So we're just so grateful to all of you. Next, over the past 3 years, we have brought 38,437 patrons to the Capitol Federal Amphitheater. And while next year we are planning to do 5 indoor productions, please, if someone figures out how to control the weather, let me know. We are planning 5 indoor productions for next year, but we are very much looking forward to exploring other opportunities to do concerts and shows and other presentations in this wonderful space. So that was all I wanted to come say to you tonight.
Thank you. I'd like to say thank you to Music Theater Wichita for being here for us after the tornado, because our community really needed it. And you had every reason to find another location, but you didn't. You stayed with our city, and it means more to me and the governing body and people of the city than you can ever imagine. So thank you.
Well, thank you. We're very grateful for the partnership.
9-2, excuse me. 9-2, presentation municipal golf course first quarter report. And Dick Stutz is going to talk to us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council. The first quarter has been submitted to you, the numbers and figures requested by our agreement. We had a very good first quarter. It surpassed what we did a year ago. Some of that, of course, is weather related, but nonetheless, we're really pleased with the start that we got off to this year. While the second quarter obviously isn't completed, but I can tell you that we are also on pace to surpass 2022 second quarter. So we're off to a running start. Really feel good about and excited about it. The other quick reports are on the capital improvement project for the irrigation system. We're on phase 1 that was approved by the council. I'm going to say maybe a month and a half ago, something like that. We are just in the final stages of completing phase 1. That is to do the controllers, all greens and tees working from the controllers, and all irrigation heads working properly on those areas. And so we just are just a little bit of follow up on that, and we will have completed phase 1. So with that, any questions? I stand to respond.
Excellent news. Thank you.
No questions? All right.
All right.
Thank you as usual for your support.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Consent agenda, community 10-1. Golly, Ronnie.
Mr. Mayor,
Consent agenda. Yes, sir.
I move to approve consent agenda items 10.1 through 10.6 as presented.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. 11 bonds, 11-1, Series A, 2023 general obligation temporary notes resolution, and Jenny's going to speak to us about this.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, this is an item we've talked quite a bit about over the last couple months. We brought a financing plan to you at your April workshop and had Our financial advisors present to talk to you at that time. We also just had a budget retreat on Saturday, and one of the budgets that we walked through was Family Future Forward, which these temporary notes are going to support. Your financial advisor is on the screen before you, Dustin Avey. So I'll turn this over. Can you hear us, Dustin? I should have asked you that before I pass it.
I can, yes, Jenny.
I will allow him to talk to you a little bit about what's going to be entailed in this temp note item.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. Good evening, Mayor, Council. Good to see you again. This is, again, something that we've talked about for some time, as Jenny alluded to, really kind of the first step in the financing process for the projects being supported by the sales tax. Again, to kind of go with the trend of this evening and maybe piling on a little bit with Lance. Obviously, give Lance a lot of credit on this one. His curiosity related to being able to internally fund this and some questions he had early on in the process was the start to the conversation that led to this plan. So thank you for those questions, Lance. Again, I think this is kind of, you think about just efficiencies of financing, number one, and how we can maximize internal funds the city already has for capital projects. This temp note does that. So we're doing this internal temporary notes. The intent is to pay this internal temporary note back in the early part of 2024. So in 2024, we will then go forward and issue bonds to redeem the internal temporary note, number one. And then number two is provide the balance of the financing for the remaining portion of the project. So again, just a temporary financing done internally. This is just a documentation that allows the city to do that. And then, certainly I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the internal closing for this, I believe, is July 19th. And I don't know if JT or Jenny or Donna can confirm that, but I believe it's July 19th. So that is the intent with the internal temporary notes. We'll be back in front of you at the next meeting in July for the bond sale. And that's for a lot of the special assessments projects that we had talked about earlier during the work study session as well. So glad to be available, stand for any questions, but that's the summary of the internal temporary note.
And JT did confirm that the closing is the 18th or 9th. It's the 18th or the 19th.
18th.
We've got them currently dedicated
Any questions?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve the resolution authorizing the issuance of $9.398 million in the City of Andover Series A 2023 temporary improvement notes.
Is it? Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. And 11-2 expansion, where am I at? 11-2 Everidge expansion resolution of intent to issue industrial revenue bonds.
Okay. And Dustin, you're welcome to leave the screen as you just did. Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny.
Hi, he's still there. Okay, this next item is not an item that we've talked to you about at length because it's come up relatively quickly. There is a request for IRB financing before you tonight by Everidge, which is one of probably 3 industrial companies in the city of Andover. So I'm really excited about this project. Everidge approached us about this probably less than 2 months ago. They are doing an expansion, and Kevin Larkey, who's general manager for Everidge, is here tonight. He's going to tell you a little about the project. I will let you know, Mayor Price and I met with your bond counsel and representatives from the company a few weeks ago, June 16th. Heard the presentation. We do support the resolution of intent that's before you tonight. Once he tells you about the increase in employment, I think that will largely answer any questions that you might have on why this is a good deal for Andover. But just to remind you, a process, you'll hear this presentation tonight. The resolution of intents before you that would allow them to use a tax exempt certificate for their construction materials nearly immediately as soon as that's issued, probably later this week. Then in a couple weeks before you would take on the tax abatement question, which we're also recommending, but you'll actually take that item up at a separate meeting because state statute does require a public hearing before you would formally make that decision, because there may be members of the public or other taxing entities that would wish to speak. So tonight you're only deciding resolution of intent, which is for the sales tax exemption on construction materials. And I'll turn it over to Kevin.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I'm Kevin Larkey, General Manager of Everidge. I've worked at Everidge for 22 years and been through the ranks over there and been General Manager for the last 12. I would like to provide you tonight with a brief overview of the plans to expand our manufacturing footprint here in Andover. Our parent company, Everidge, which was founded in 1939, with our headquarters in Plymouth, Minnesota, which is a family-owned and operated business. We actually have 6 factories in North America in 5 different states, providing walk-in coolers and freezers and ambient enclosures for several number of end-user applications, which include food service, food retail, convenience stores, environmental, and scientific markets, to name a few. We have brands of our products, 5 different brands of our products. They include ICS, International Cold Storage, which you might be the most familiar with, since that's been our label for a number of years. We also have Thermarite, Crown Tonka, PrepRite, and SmartRite. Some of our customers, which you may recognize, include Wendy's, Arby's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Chipotle, QT, Spirit Aerospace, Walmart, the Hilton Properties, and Train Scientific. Our division here in Andover was founded in 1952. In 1975, 48 years ago, ICS relocated from South Wichita to our current location here at 215 East 13th Street, where we currently have 40,000 square feet of factory space and 7,400 square feet of office space. In the past 2 years, we have made significant upgrades to the site, replacing our south concrete loading pad and the parking lot on the north and east side, which totaled around $525,000. Currently, our division here in Andover core product offering is our outdoor walk-in cooler and freezers. You'll see them most commonly behind a Wendy's or Taco Bell or even the McDonald's here on Central. Over the past 2 years, we have introduced and qualified other supplemental product lines here at the factory in Andover, which have proven to be very successful in terms of being able to hire the necessary workforce and to deliver high quality product. These supplement product lines offerings include replacement insulated walk-in doors, manual and power insulated slider doors, ultra low temperature enclosures for medicines and vaccines. The 7,500 square foot manufacturing expansion will be utilized to manufacture these already proven supplement product lines and expand our capacity on our core product lines. 18 months ago, we invested in a sales and support team to build and expand our products in these markets. Based on our current backlog and forecasted demand of over 75% growth over the next 2 to 3 years, we have determined with the success we experienced in hiring and retaining employees at our location here in Andover, this was our best option to accomplish this goal. We're expecting to hire 52 direct employees over the next 10 years. 25 of these employees will be hired in year 1 with a weighted average annual salary of $41,600 in the first year. Year 2, we are planning to hire 7 additional employees and then 5 additional employees per year for the next 3 years. This schedule is included in your packet on page 10. Some of the near and long-term recruiting efforts include working with the local school districts to make them more aware of both our direct and indirect job opportunities. We are also looking at working with Butler County Community College for the same initiative. The capital investment project in total is $1.8 million, which includes $1 million for the building expansion and $800,000 for machinery and equipment. We've also applied for the local business improvement grant this past spring, to replace and add landscaping to our property. This estimate is around $50,000. I believe that grant is still being under review. In closing, we have a lot of momentum and a bright future in front of us. We're all in on getting this plant expansion completed by Q1 '24 and moving the needle forward in the continuous growth here in Andover. I thank you for your time tonight and your consideration in this matter.
All right.
And I'll take any questions too. It can be kind of high level though. I'll take any questions you may have.
Mr. Mayor, I do have one question. Sir, how did you hear about the IRB barns? Did we come to you? Did you, I mean, have you guys used them?
Through
in
the
past?
state of Kansas,
Okay.
it's one that presented to us.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Perfect.
Absolutely. And they heavily promoted it. And we did some research and with having, basically we're physically in 6 different states.
Right.
So we had some options and we looked at the best and we felt like with the expansion and the growth that we're seeing and realizing actually as of even today that this was our best choice.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
And we appreciate you guys being here.
Oh, you bet.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve resolution indicating the intent of the governing body of the city of Andover, Kansas to issue certain taxable industrial revenue bonds in an aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $1,800,000 for the purpose of purchasing, acquiring, constructing, furnishing, and equipping in addition to an existing industrial facility located in the city of Andover, Kansas, and paying a portion of the cost of issuance thereof.
Second.
Any further questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Nice to see you in person. We've talked several times, right?
Thank you for investing in our city.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. Founders Parkway 13-1, Onewood to Allen Street paving and incidental drainage improvement bids. And Les is going to talk to us about this.
Last week, we took the bids for the Founders Parkway project from Onewood Street over to Allen Street. We had only one bid, which is kind of an indication of the construction market right now. All the paving contractors are very busy. But we're happy to report that that bid is a solid 10% under the engineering estimate for the project. That's something we've struggled with in the past 2 or 3 years since COVID and all the supply chain and employee shortages in the construction industry. Pearson Construction was the low bidder. We've done work with Pearson Construction, and as a matter of fact, we have a project on 159th Street open with them now. So we would recommend that you accept this bid contingent on the approval by the Kansas Department of Transportation. We were hoping to have that approval before tonight, but we haven't received that yet from KDOT because this project does get $1.2 million of its funding from the KDOT Access Management Construction Program. So if you would consider these bids and their approval contingent on KDOT's approval.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to accept the lowest qualified bid from Pearson Construction LLC, Wichita, Kansas, in the amount of $1,439,031.25 and reject all other bids and authorize the mayor to sign the contract for the Founders Parkway, Onewood to Allen Street paving and incidental drainage project.
If you could add condition on KDOT's approval to that.
I was getting ready to say, as long as the KDOT, the condition on KDOT Access Management Construction Program is approved.
Second.
Any further questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. 13-2 Onewood Allen Street paving, incidental drainage improvements, construction engineering agreement.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve the professional services agreement with Train Systems Wichita, Kansas for construction engineering services for the Founders Parkway, Onewood to Allen Street project.
Second.
Any further questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. 14-1, Heritage Edition, Heritage Park naming. And Rick Landsworth will talk to us about this evening.
Mr. Mayor and Council, at the June 14th PRAB meeting, the subject of park naming for Heritage Parks, which are shown up on your screen, it's kind of three distinct little projects that tend to join together, as far as they're basically one long linear park with some bioswales and ponds that end up at a gathering place up there next to where across the street from where the building's going up now with the apartments and the ground floor mixed use. The city has a policy of naming parks, and the policy refers to a park board to make the recommendation to the city council, who has the authority to actually set the name for the park. After discussion, and I feel like pretty good discussion at the PRAB meeting, the PRAB's recommendation is to name the parks Heritage Park, and the gathering space referred to the Plaza Heritage Park. After that meeting, we heard back from the developers. The developers have a slightly different preference. Their preference is to name the gathering place, which is up there, as most of you have seen this, but I went ahead and put the night rendering of it as Heritage Park Plaza. I believe their expression was they felt like the other part was maybe just a little too wordy, too lengthy, but if any of the council has any questions or comments, at this point, it would be your guys' decision on which to name it. Obviously, you guys have the final say.
I think Heritage Park Plaza sounds great. Anybody think that it shouldn't be that? Yeah.
I think it'll be better for signage and fit. look
Fewer
better.
letters to fall off signs, yeah?
Yeah. Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to accept the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board's recommendation and approve the naming of the park system in the Heritage Development Heritage Park, and to name the gathering place area as Heritage Park Plaza. Right?
Second.
Got the names right? All right. Any further questions or discussion?
Mr. Mayor, Rick, what did the Parks Board, they said they wanted the Plaza at Heritage Park. Is that how I'm understanding it?
Yeah, so that came out of just discussion on how to name it. So it felt like one name didn't really do it justice, right? You have kind of two parks that interconnect. So the question is, what do you name the portion that's in red up there on the screen? Well, during all the different designs and plans and memos and everything else, we had seen Heritage Square, Heritage Plaza. It was a lot of different variations, and staff was a little bit confused on really what it was supposed to be even anyway. So it was due to be named. We were getting ready to do the next phase, which has some artwork and stonework that'll have a name on it, on that portion of it. And we wanted to make sure we got the name right at that point. So it was discussed at the PRAB meeting, and this is what they came up with. It ended up being, I think, a mostly unanimous feeling about it, but it wasn't, I don't think anything was super strong about it. And obviously if council wants to name it this way, is well within your guys' right.
Perfect, thank you.
And Tim, it's probably too soon for Ronnie Price Memorial
No.
Plaza.
Memorial.
That's what I'm saying. It's too soon.
So we have,
In memory? Yeah.
In memory of.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. Is that funny?
I did. So I would say, did you say to modify or to accept when you started I'm just asking.
Well, I said to accept, but then I caught myself that in our agenda, it's written differently than the developer's preference. So I said it the way the developers preferenced it.
Cool.
With the Heritage Park Plaza,
Yes.
even though it was written wrong. So is the way I said it okay?
I think you technically modified their recommendation to Heritage Park Plaza.
With that comma in there, it could be either way though.
Change this right here.
I think we got what we
motion is
needed. Yeah.
She's like,
everybody.
shut up, Troy, with your non-English.
All right, all right.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Hold on.
Annual budget,
What
2024,
are you doing?
15-1, intent for revenue neutral rate. And Matt is going to talk to us tonight.
All right.
Oh, I don't know. Is there something going to be on the screen? I don't think there's anything to be on the screen. I think I'm just talking. Well, good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm Matt Kane, the city's finance director. And it's my privilege to tell you tonight about the city's revenue neutral rate for the fiscal year 2024 annual budget. I know we all had our budget meeting and we just talked about it, but for those who are here or might be at home listening, just a quick explanation of what revenue neutral rate is. Revenue neutral rate is the tax rate at which the city would levy the same number of dollars as the previous year's budget. So we are excited for 2024 that we are recommending the mill rate be 42.999 compared to 43.727 was the certified rate in 2023. That is a reduction of 7.28 mils.
0.7.
Yeah, sorry, that's not what I said. I have written down 0.728, not 7.28. Sorry, my mistake. But tonight we're just seeking approval for the mayor to sign the revenue neutral rate form, the indication of revenue neutral rate, which is in the packet. And that form does also have on it that our revenue neutral rate public hearing will be on August 29th here at City Hall. We don't need any action on this part yet, but that's also the same night we'll do the budget hearing. And then we will have the vote to adopt the budget at the following meeting on September 12th. Stand for any questions.
All right.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I just, one question. You did say we reduced it, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I just want to make sure everyone heard reduction.
0.782.
28.
0.72. Damn, I can't write right.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve the mayor to sign the indication of revenue neutral rate document.
Second.
Thank you. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, onward and upward. 16, executive session. 16-1, land acquisition.
Mr. Mayor,
KSA
sorry.
KSA 75-4319B6.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to recess into executive session for discussions relating to the acquisition of real property per KSA 75-4319B6. Session to include governing body, city attorney and associates, city administrator, assistant city administrator, and the director of community development, and resume an open session at 8:19. 8:19.
There a nine
No.
in there?
8:09. Thank you. 8:10.
Take that long to get through the motion.
Okay, second.
Tim seconded, yeah.
Who?
What?
Tim.
Yeah.
Tim. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0.
Second.
Any further questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to recess into the executive session for discussions relating to the acquisition of real property per KSA 754319B6, section to include governing bodies, city attorney and associate, city administrator, assistant city administrator, and the director of community development, and resume an open session at 8:27.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. Yes, sir.
I move to come out of executive session.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. And so we have nothing to business after that, right? All right, member items. We'll start with Tim. You have anything, Tim?
I just want to wish everybody a safe and sound July 4th. That's coming up next week. Make sure you don't blow your fingers and toes off.
Keep your fingers.
Be careful. So that's it.
Nice. Just one quick thing, I think. So for those who didn't know, I'm not running for city council again. I listened to Shelby, not doing it again, so I decided I would follow in her footsteps. And I realized just other things that I'm trying to focus on and do a good job with. And I felt like I've been here a long time and put a lot of time into this, and it's seen it grow. And certainly the council we've had over the last 4 years has been pretty darn amazing. Lots of great ideas and lots of stuff has happened. It's been a pleasure to be a part of it, and I'm going to miss it a lot, but I guess we all move on. So
You have to stay till January.
is it January or November? January 1st.
Till the swearing in.
Dang it.
Till the swearing in.
Yeah, I knew that. I'm just kidding. So the other two things would be the League of Kansas Municipalities. Someone I would certainly download, my knowledge to whomever wants to take that over, as well as WAMPO. So, and they both know that I'm leaving too. So. That's all. Thank you.
Well,
I was just going to ditto what Tim was saying about the 4th, and everyone just be careful.
I have nothing. Shelby.
I have no items.
I had something and it escaped me. But no items. I won't make anything up.
So I would like to say though that Troy, thank you for your help. The first couple of years I've learned how to be mayor and stuff, and I thank you for the service you've done to the city. It's no small thing, WAMPO and all that stuff, and I truly appreciate it. And thank you from the bottom of my heart, my friend.
My pleasure. Yeah, it's been fun.
All right.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I move to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0.
Yeah.